You're going to see some very, the first thing I would say, very dear friends and companions of mine. You're going to see a band called Proto-Kaw, which was most of the original Kansas. And the interesting thing about these guys, this is the most amazing Cinderella story, they were the guys that got left behind. When the first Kansas band split apart, we became the second Kansas band, which is now Proto-Kaw. And then I left that band to form the third Kansas, which is the one everybody knows. They were the guys that got left behind. Well, almost 30 years later, there was a small custom record label on the East Coast called Cuneiform Records that releases long-lost masters and curiosities and obscurities. And they called me up and said, "Kerry, I understand you have some very early recordings of the band Kansas." I said, "Well, yes, I do, but these are not for public consumption. You know, these are just 2-track tapes that we made at some of our live performances, and the guys that were members of that band Kansas, I don't even know where they are. I don't know what they'd think about this." But I said, "Let me think about it." Well, because of this technology that we were talking about, I was able to take those recordings, which really weren't listenable, and actually make them sound pretty amazing. And so I called this label back and said, "Let's do it on one condition. I have to do some detective work. I have to find all my old friends. These are guys I went to high school with and I'd lost track with." And so I tracked everybody down, told them what was going on, and they were cautiously thrilled at first. But the phenomenon that happened, once these guys realized that their music was finally going to get heard, and none of them had continued in music, they began playing again. Some of them didn't even own instruments. And we decided to have a reunion. Well, we got back together and had a great time and played a little bit and talked about old times. And we were standing out in the parking lot, and this thought occurred to me. I said to the guys, "You know, I wonder what it would have been like if this band had continued. What would we be doing now?" And the more I thought about it, the more intriguing it got. And I said, "I got a studio. Why don't you guys let's all get together and see what happens." Well, it was phenomenal. I have never heard of even, some anthropologist should have done an experiment. Can a musician quit playing for 30 years and then come back and play this extremely challenging music just out of the box? And we solved that riddle. They can. Not only did these guys play, they just played absolutely amazing stuff. So it's an incredible band, and for me, it's one of the most satisfying experiences of my whole career, because I got to take the guys that never got their shot. And most people don't get a second chance, but they did, and now they are going at it with incredible intensity, because they realize that this is their shot to do it. So we've done 2 albums now. We just got back from a European tour.
No, stuff like this happens, you know, in this kind of business, and I'm the one that didn't play or even own an instrument for 30 years. And then Lynn and John, the sax player and the singer, wanted to put together a CD release party kind of thing, because we never had one in Kansas City, and I hadn't seen some of these guys for, you know, over 30 years. We put this thing together and walked on stage and kind of started playing and doing, you know, Santana and just stuff that we did when we were, you know, kids, and it was quite an experience.
Well, it was really weird. We obviously hadn't seen each other for 30 years, and got a call in the summer of 2002, I think, and my son took the phone call, and he goes, "Dad, Kerry Livgren called. Is that guy in that band?" And so, yeah, and then we got together, and we met in Kansas City, and when our re-release stuff was let out that year, and it caused us to kind of look at doing other things, and it's been all magic since then. I think Dan and John and I were pretty nervous about our abilities, but you know, we battled back pretty well, and we've worked hard, and it's been a lot of fun.
I was in the original Kansas 35 years ago. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's fun to get out in front of people and play again. And you know, we're all career people here, so it's just fun to get away from that and, you know, get out and do it.
I have a little bit of a different story. I'm his nephew, and was not born when this band was originally together. So when they got back together, I've actually been with them since the very first gig they ever did in the new era. So I guess in that sense I'm a new original member, but it was a dream come true. Everything we've done has been everything I've ever wanted to do. You know, traveling and playing in front of people and just, you know, doing it for real. You know, I've been doing this ever since I've been an adult and never really got to do it for real. So this is really cool.
I'm not an original member. I'm not an original member.
In fact, he's not an original anything.
Yeah. I'm the new guy. So, I wasn't even born when these guys started out.
Well, I actually got involved with Kerry and his music in '95 for an album that he had previous, and it was a great thrill then, and it's a great thrill now. I kind of think it's like riding a bicycle in a lot of ways. I mean, you learn a lot of the rudimentary things, and even if you're away from it for a while, the rust forms sometimes, but it usually can be scraped off with a little bit of work. So for myself personally, I'm a professional musician. I play all the time, as well as a part-time farmer. So I think I have the two most stable professions in the world.
I've been a fan ever since I heard the first Kerry Livgren song in 1974 was Lamplight Symphony on the radio, and ever since then I've just been nuts about the music, and our lives have kind of intertwined since then, and I live 2 hours from here, so I drive 2 hours every time to do this, but I've had a blast, and just a dream come true for me, and a lot of fun.
Dan said at best, it's like we left practice 30 years ago, and we came back, and it was like, I mean, everybody set up in exactly the same spot. It was really weird. It really was an experience.
It's like herding cats,
yeah.
isn't it? I think that's it.
You guys are stealing all my lines.
Okay, Dan, you tell them what it's like.
Here's what it is. It's the most awesome deja vu you can ever imagine. It's like 30 years went by, and it was just a vapor. And it was yesterday. And here we are doing it again, which I don't think anybody in their wildest imaginings ever dreamed we would be doing. Really, you just couldn't even imagine a scenario where we'd be doing this again. But here
And we
we are.
never thought we'd even see each other again.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, it was just.
Oh yeah, I mean.
People went in. People, you know, Kerry went on. We went to school, had families, got careers, and then all of a sudden you're back doing something you really wanted to do 30 years ago, but you know. People always adjust their dreams, and we adjusted ours. We get to come back to this one now.
This is a slice of the American dream. This is where else could this happen?
We're waiting for it to be a profitable American dream.